Hey YouTube, prepared to wander out in the woods today, and it is bitter cold today. It is 19 degrees. We had a fresh layer of snow yesterday, and it is freezing. Probably doesn't seem like a lot for some people I know who live farther north, but for Ohio, 19 is pretty bitter. And what I wanted to do today is I wanted to come out here and show you something I've been working on and that I think is kind of interesting and also kind of important. I wanted to show you a vehicle go bag, and I've done videos in the past on get home bags and bail out bags and things like that. And one thing I feel like I've always kind of struggled with is really putting together something that's complete and that really made sense. Sometimes they were way overpacked, or the gear was just not maybe the best or the best thought out. So I'm trying to always improve my thought process, and I learn a lot from the people who post, good comments below. Not necessarily the negative stuff, but a lot of the good stuff. You can learn from each other. And just watching, other people, how they do things on YouTube has really helped me. And one thing I wanted to do is I really wanted to scale down my go bag for my car. And to me, a go bag is going to be something that you take with you always. It's always in your vehicle, and it's there for any kind of emergency that you have to leave that vehicle and go somewhere else. And hopefully it won't be something where you have to hike too far, but you may have to. It can also be used as a secondary bushcraft hiking bag. Let's say if you're on a trip and you forget all your gear, or you don't have any gear with you, and someone decides, hey, let's go out and do something out in the woods, you've at least got some preparedness with you, so you're not caught off guard. I think that happens to a lot of people that get out in the woods. They go for hikes in areas that they're very unfamiliar with when they're on vacation. They get lost, they get dehydrated, they get injured, whatever, they're not prepared. And unfortunately, they become fatalities, or at least a blip on the news. So I want to try to avoid that as much as possible. I always want to have some basics that I'm very familiar with me. Things like ways to start a fire, ways to make a shelter, ways to collect water, maybe some food. Just some things that are always a necessity when I'm out in the woods on a hike, either if it's unprepared or prepared. And that's the whole point of this, is just getting that bag down to a reasonable size that I'm going to actually keep it in my car, not worry about it. It's going to have the essentials, but not too much stuff. This isn't packing for the apocalypse. It's packing for day-to-day needs, and keeping it at that. So that's what we're going to get into. I'm going to open up this new bag. I'm going to show you what's inside of it, what my thought process is, and then in the comments below, leave some feedback of things that you think that you would add or maybe do a little bit differently. I think there's always different ways of doing things. That you can pack everything that you can think of, but at some point you have to have a limit, and that's what we're going to look at, is the limit that I've come up with. So stick around. Okay, so what we're looking at today is this bag right here, and this is something that I found on eBay. I had no knowledge of this thing before. I don't really know a ton about it, but a little research I did do, I found out that this is a piece of military gear that is in use right now. This is a military aviation go bag, or pilot's go bag. And what it's designed for is to be strapped into a helicopter, so that when a pilot goes down, they have some basic survival gear that they can grab off of their chopper, and get out in the field. I found this on eBay, like I said, very cheap. It's brand spanking new. It is, way overbuilt. Like most military gear, it's heavy duty. I believe it's probably 1000D Cordura, fast tech buckles, really good nylon webbing. I mean, this thing is just built like a tank. Big, heavy duty, beefy zippers. You can see that. That's really nice. So this is definitely a bag that's going to last. It's going to outlast me. The pouch in the front, this does not come with it. This is actually a Maxpedition pouch that they no longer make, unfortunately. This is the wide load admin. that I picked up and put on the front of this. I thought that would be a nice addition because the front of this bag is all MOLLE, so it's a good place to put additional pouches and organizers to help with the gear distribution. And you know, the great thing about this bag is that it's designed to have backpack straps with a sternum strap, so that's good. So it carries well when you hike with it, and you can distribute the load pretty well. But also you can take these backpack straps and unbuckle them and then hide them inside this panel right here, and that helps keep the bag more slick. And then the other option too is there's straps inside here that if I unbuckle this, if I unbuckle that right there, this strap will come out, and then now this strap can be strapped around a piece of equipment to hang it from. So I've seen pictures of these hung from the ceilings of helicopters, and that's what these straps for. But the great thing is that there's also kind of a dual purpose with this strap, is that it creates a strap on the bottom of the pack. So if I wanted to strap some gear to the bottom of the pack, I can do that. So definitely multi-purpose. Alright, so the front pouch of the bag, let's go through what I have in here. This is a basic organizational pouch, admin pouch. See that? Get a lot of gear in there. Okay, so I've got a notebook, Bright and Rain pen. Go along with that Bright and Rain notebook, I have a compass. This is a nice Sunto base plate. Really necessary to have something like that. I have a Petzl headlamp. A Gerber multi-tool. I have a signal mirror with a whistle. Two butane lighters. Ferro rod. And this really nice little field manual that I got from ACW Tactical. This is their little survival manual. It's a pocket survival manual. It's kind of neat, and it's also got a magnifying glass built into it, measuring device, and then I added a tick identification card for the summer, because we have a lot of ticks around here. So it goes back there. That's all in the front pouch. Okay, you notice on the side of this bag there are 3 Fast-Tech buckles for compression, and these you can tuck into these little webbing slots right here. See that? When you unbuckle all those, you're able to rip the bag open pretty far. It doesn't completely clamshell open, but it's not bad. So, first thing I have in here is a Frontier Pro water filter. This, you can drink from it or hook it up to a platypus and then fill it with clean water that way. So water filtration, got that covered. Got some basic food, some Cliff Bars, and some cliff shots. Just some basic nutrition to keep me going, some fuel. Cutting tool, a knife. I picked the SE3 because it's full tang. It's a proven blade. I've used this many years. It's a great knife. Gets a lot of good use out of it, and it works. It works perfectly. It's easy to sharpen. It's comfortable in the hand. It's big enough for most tasks, but small enough that it's not going to take up a lot of room or be super heavy. Alright, next item I keep in here is a Adventure Medical Kit's Ultralights .7 First Aid Kit. Now, this kit is pretty complete, but I added a few things like a pair of miniature EMT shears, some additional bandages, medications, things like that. But it's definitely a very complete first aid kit for most wounds. It's certainly not anything huge like trauma type stuff, but it'll take care of a lot. Then here I have my possibles pouch, which basically just has all the necessary items that I need, just thrown in here to keep them organized and from floating around in the bag. Now this pouch that I have here, this is something that I actually kind of made. What I did is I took a U.S. military first aid kit, the trifold kind, the Corpsman's bag, and I cut all the pouches off of it, so the pouches now are individual. So this is the main pouch. It makes a great ditty bag. So in here I've got I got a wire saw. This is the military issue, which is the better of the wire saws that are out there on the market. I have a roll of duct tape, bright safety orange. Got some hand warmers, since we're in the Midwest. It does get cold here a lot. Headlamp that runs off standard AAA batteries, something I can find easily out in the wild. If I'm at a gas station or whatever, they're easy to find. CR123s aren't always easy to find, so I like to stick with AA's or AAA's. Match safe with waterproof matches from UCO. Light sticks. Military surplus light stick holder. This allows you to turn it on and off by opening the window, so you can control the amount of light you're using, what people can see. Here's a ProForce Equipment Bivi bag. So basically it's kind of a sleeping bag setup that's thermal. It's a Mylar blanket type bag. Big hunk of 550 cord. And then some large zip ties. So there's that. Now I also keep poncho in here. This is the U.S. military USGI woodland camo poncho. So now I have a means of also protecting myself from the rain, but also making a shelter of some sort, because the thing that we're sitting on is the U.S. military Mylar blanket, space blanket. And they call them casualty blankets, but for the civilian market it's going to be just a standard Mylar blanket, thermal blanket. And that way I can lay that on the ground. That can be my ground sheet. This can be my tarp. 550 cord I can set it up with. Zip ties, duct tape if I need to repair something. And then enough equipment to start a fire and filter some water and have some food. Now, is it the most luxurious equipment in the world? No. It's, you know, I don't have a pot. I don't have a lot of food that I can cook. I don't have a thermal pad. You know, there's things that are definitely lacking in this kit, but the idea is that this is something that you're going to grab and you're going to go and you're going to hike, and you're not going to be spending a lot of time being comfortable and sleeping and things like that. You're going to be on the move, and hopefully it's not going to be very long. It's only going to be a day or so out in the field. So that's why I like the size of this bag. It limits how much stuff I can carry. I'm not carrying a ton of gear. I'm carrying exactly what I need and no more and no less. There's a little bit of room left in here to add a few items if I need to, but for the most part it's packed pretty tight. But it has everything I think I need to get me through a rough situation. At least it's a basis for it. Alright guys, that is it for today. It is freezing cold. I am going to get out of here, go home, get warmed up, do some chores, do some video editing, get this thing posted for you. That's my vehicle go bag. I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave some comments down below so I can see what you guys think about different stuff that you would add. As always, please like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you check me out on Instagram, prepared_wanderer. Always photos on there from my photo shoots, and also my Facebook group. There's a link down below for that, and for the Amazon store if you want to see some of this equipment or gear, if you're interested in purchasing it. Some of it will be in the Amazon store, some of it won't be, but some of it will. That always helps out the channel as well. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.